poppin'? Good afternoon. Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. We have James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel here as well. Welcome in.
Hey, like, comment, subscribe. Show my girl some love, especially if you like what you see.
1,000 appreciations. Somebody subscribed to me. A couple people did. I appreciate you guys. I am almost halfway to 800, so I am grateful. Y'all, we are here to go over 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. I have not covered this show before, but honestly, I'm tired of covering Bravo shows because they're all essentially the same with how the cast behaves. So I'm trying to get into some different stuff to talk about because I feel like all the housewives are doing the same things. Kind of like Bad Girls Club back in the day, way back in the day when it was on Oxygen, where every season you expected someone's clothes to get thrown in the pool and the mattress to be thrown from the room. That's kind of what Housewives has been for me. So I'm like, let's switch it up. Talk about something entirely crazy, which is what this episode was. It was insanity. This episode was titled Now Boarding. This was season 8, episode 1. So for those who do not know, 90 Day Fiance airs on TLC. TLC is known to have some crazy shows such as My 600-Pound Life and Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, Toddlers and Tiaras. So their shows always end up discussed, is what I'll say. 90 Day Fiance has a concept where essentially it's people who are trying to find love, but the people that they are trying to find love with are not in America. They are generally trying to find love with people in any other country. Before the 90 days is different because it is before they get their K1 visa, which is the visa you get, which says you can be a citizen if you're married within 90 days. These people have not gotten to that point yet. They're just trying to meet each other. So this should be interesting. I'm hoping we see some of the couples on 90 Day Fiance, but considering our current administration, I don't know how that will work. There is a lot that has changed, and engagement and marriage is not just the way that you get into America anymore. So we're going to do the concept for this show the way that I do Love After Lockup. I'm going to go over what happened with each couple throughout the entirety of the episode because I don't like playing ping pong. I just don't. And we're going to start with Forrest, who is 32 and from the Dalles, Oregon. He's a weird one. Now, he has cameras in his house that are watching him, and not just like the ordinary like Ring camera or a little cheap camera we would order off Amazon. Like, he's got cameras in his house that his girlfriend in the Philippines has access to. So Forrest is 32. I'm not quite sure what he did. I didn't quite catch it, but he prides himself on having a house that is kind of like a smart house, a smart home. He's dating a woman named Sheena. Sheena and Forrest have been together for 7 years. They have never met. I don't understand things like this. Like, I don't understand things like this. I've heard of long distance, but 7 years is crazy.
That's a long ass time.
That's a long time.
That
and
is.
Then he kind of gave me no shade. I believe his name was it Tyree? For those who watch 90 Day Fiance, he was on the show and he ended up being catfished. But I don't know why he gives me the same energy as him, who was also a virgin, which we'll get to in a moment. But Sheena's in the Philippines. They've never met. He says he's made some pretty big sacrifices for the relationship. Now, he's living in Oregon, so he is literally a couple hours from me here in California. So he's on what we call Pacific Standard Time. His girlfriend, Sheena, is in the Philippines. They are probably a day ahead or behind, give or take. I don't know, and I'm not looking it up right now. But the time difference is crazy. And this fool says that he has organized his life so that he operates on Filipino time zone so that he's able to see his girlfriend and all of these things, which ordinarily I'd be like, oh, that's so nice. But I'm like, no, that is crazy. That is absolutely insane to me. He has a collection of bears. Something about it could be their children one day, and he hopes to give them to her. I thought that was a little creepy. Please don't compare our future kids to stuffed animals. That's just my personal opinion, but I know that everybody is different. And he dances a lot. So we see Forrest dancing in the camera. for the scenes that they have them take, showing like when it's going to his segment of the show. He tells us that his girlfriend loves his flab and that they have not had sex yet, but they are intimate through the phone. So it's seeming like either on the house video or the video call, whichever, or he's getting naked and dancing around and things like that. But it doesn't sound like she's doing much. It sounds like she's kind of authoritative over him. All of it sounded like red flags. More red flags came at us because we meet his mom, Molly. His mom is a red flag herself. So once I met the mom, I was like, okay, this is why you're this way. Because his mom was awkward. His mom was inappropriate. The first thing she says when she sees him, she wants to take him to the sex store. And I couldn't understand it. She's like, you know, like when you were 18 and I took you to the sex store. What? Pardon? Are we taking our kids to the sex store for their 18th birthday? Is there something that I'm missing? Let me explain something to y'all. Let me explain something. I don't find this to be appropriate or healthy in any way. Because why are you taking your child to the sex store? That's weird. Okay, buy your kids some condoms. Maybe it would have been weird to give him a Playboy, but give him something. But to go with him, it's fucking weird. I'm sorry. It was weird. James and me were texting like, wait a minute.
Well, no, because I thought I heard her wrong. Like, I really did. I thought I heard her wrong. I thought she did not just say that. So I rewinded back. And she said, we're going to do exactly what we do when you were 18. Remember when I took you to the sex store? And then in her confessional said that he got into me and my husband's private stash. So we took him to the sex store so he can have his own. And I'm like, okay, this is problematic on so many different levels. Why do you and your husband have a private stash? First and foremost, that's number one. And number two, why do you think it is appropriate to have your autistic son go into a sex store and just buy his own collection versus talking to him about it and maybe understanding, you know, is he ready for his hormones? That just seems like that's just parent perversion. Like, that's just really what it is.
It's
like,
even worse that after the sex stuff, we learn that Forrest is autistic. He also has ADHD.
Yes.
And so I'm looking at his mom, like, when you have a child with special needs, it's up to you. It's up to you. You can send them to behavioral technicians. You can send them to BCBAs. You can send them to you can send them to every specialist you want to. The specialist, I remember working in RBT, which a lot of people do when you finish a degree in mental health. And I just remember hearing from the people who trained me, like, a lot of times you're doing your job right, but you may not see progress with the child and their behaviors because of the parents. And it's the same thing when you look at training animals, people, any type of thing. Like, the authoritative figure, it is up to them to regulate and enforce the things that are going to help them thrive, even with being on the spectrum or having ADHD. So the boy can't focus and he struggles with emotions. His mom did him such a disservice, and it is disgusting of her to take her child to a sex shop, regardless of him being on the spectrum or not. But the fact that she did it knowing that he has these issues is a mess. And that was just a piece of the red flags. His mom don't like Sheena, the girlfriend in the Philippines. Now, she does have good reason for not liking Sheena, but it's one of those things with the mom where I'm like, it's too little, too late. Welcome in, Blessing. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. I'm baffled. I'm truly baffled because the mom thinks that Sheena and her son meeting is going to be a trip from hell in the Philippines. And herself and her husband, the stepfather, are going to be attending the trip to the Philippines with Forrest, which I think is a little bit overbearing. But hearing that he's autistic and all of these things, it does kind of make sense. She wants to make sure he doesn't like flip out and can handle things appropriately, which I absolutely agree with. But I was really he really reminded me of, I think Tyree was the dude's name from 90 Day Fiance do from Modesto, because Forrest has never had a kiss with a girl outside of his mother or grandmother. He has never held hands with a girl. He's not had a hug with a girl. He's also a virgin. He has not just a lack of sexual experience, but he has a total lack of dating experience. And that happens with some people. Some people just skip that step. It doesn't mean that they're gay. It doesn't mean that they're a lesbian if they're a female. Some people just struggle a little more with dating, and some people are a little bit too introverted sometimes, I would say. And it seems like that is the case with Forrest. But his mom tells us the reason she doesn't trust Sheena is because of her parents in the Philippines. Now, at first she thought everything was good, but the story is that Forrest was giving money to Sheena in a bank account that she had that belonged to her in the Philippines. This bank account is a bank account that her parents' name was on or they had access to. The money that Sheena had been saving in the bank account so that she could come over to the States and be with Forrest, the parents emptied out the bank account. Now, I know that there are several holes missing from this story, but I can't understand why the mom is like looking at them with the side eye. Now, that was the first time this happened. A couple of years later, Sheena and Forrest talked and they were like, well, get an account that your parents don't have access to, which in Filipino culture, I live in the Bay Area, we have a heavy amount of Filipinos here. Straight from the Philippines, kindest people ever, wonderful culture, but they are the type of culture where the family takes care of each other. It's not you go off and just make your own family all the time. So I can understand why her family had access to it, but for them to just drain the bank account, I don't buy that. I feel like she's putting it on her parents. This happened twice. It happened again. And I don't understand why Forrest doesn't see this. So then he starts talking with the narrative in a sex store with his mom while trying to pick out lingerie for the wife. That is fucking weird. That is weird. That is very weird, y'all. I'll never get over that. But they're discussing Sheena. And it seems like Sheena and the mom, it seems like he's interpreting the issues with Sheena as, oh, he needs to rescue her from her parents. And it doesn't seem like Sheena's at risk. It seems like the only person that's been screwed over in the situation is Forrest. James. And his mom is the reason he knows this lady. She put him on the internet, knowing that he's
on the dating site. Yeah.
Put him into Facebook groups and stuff. And of course he was preyed on. Facebook is where everybody goes to commit scams. Like, internationally, this is not just a thing that's happening for the Philippines. So I'm like, I don't even know what to say about these people, y'all. This is some shit.
It's crazy. It's like, what are we doing? And why are we doing this? And why would you think, okay, it's one thing to find your kid a social service, like to help, maybe find him some friends in your community, maybe make him do, if he has a hobby of some sort, maybe find a group for him to join to kind of get himself out there and maybe become less socially awkward. But it's a whole nother thing for you to sign him up on a dating site thinking that's what you need. Like, to me, I'm gonna say this is allegedly. This is, I'm not saying this is what she did. It almost makes me feel like you were scared he was going to be gay. And you did this and you were able to manipulate his mind because you are a mom. Because that's weird to me. I'm sorry, you guys. Well, it is weird for her.
She did say she put him in a Facebook group that was supposed to be like a support group for people who are on the spectrum and struggling. But to put someone on the spectrum and with ADHD on the internet without supervision is crazy irresponsible.
It is. Because but to me, as I said, it's a difference if you found something in your local city, because I'm sure there are some things in your local city that would, be helpful to him, especially because there's so many camps you hear about with people in his, specialty group. There's always autism for kids. They even have autism for adults too, for people who still struggle. So it's crazy to me that you couldn't find that, but you could find a Facebook social group for him. And this not being the first time he was in this exact situation. So for me, it was like, okay,
Even from the
yeah,
same part of the world. The last girl was Indonesia, the first one, and now it's the
right.
Philippines. You ain't even moved to a different part of the hemisphere, brother. You still on the same part of the globe. And I'm gonna need his mom to figure it out. It's gonna be interesting watching him. It's gonna be definitely interesting watching him. But honestly, I'm gonna review him just like everybody else because child, he think he making decisions, think you gotta rescue that girl from her parents. That should never be
That should
the
never be a
stance you take
situation.
as
Yeah.
a spouse anyway. People are going to have effed up parents. There's a lot of people's relationships fails, in my opinion, because they're too close to their family. They have their family too much involved in stuff. For whatever reason, the people with the biggest, the nicest, and closest families be the ones who can't seem to find love for whatever reason. But it doesn't it doesn't make sense, and no one will ever be successful at trying to get someone that is really close to family to not be so close to family. That has to happen naturally on that person's choice. You can't rescue
And then
nobody from family.
also to add to that, you can't even trust that that's the situation.
You don't know.
Like
It's
you
across the
don't know
world.
because you're across the world. Like she could be a crook her damn self. You don't know this lady. So you can't just say, oh, it's the parents who's taking the money, or it's the parents who are scammers, or it's the parents that are this. Well, you truly don't know that.
Because all he knows is that his name ain't on that bank account. So he has no way to confirm or deny if her parents' names is on the account or if her parents took the money. But I definitely feel like it'll be interesting to watch them. I do think he has good intentions compared to some of the people on shows like 90 Day. And I hope it works out for him, but I just don't. I feel like his mom is going to be a problem, and his view of her needing rescuing from her family is going to be a problem. But we're going to move on to the next person and couple, Emma. She is 27 years old with a terrible wig and from LA. I feel like I've seen Emma on 90 Day before. I feel like I've seen her before, but I don't think she made it like. I feel like I've seen her before. She just look. I've seen her somewhere on TV before. I don't forget a wig that's misplaced like that on the forehead. Um, she's crazy. So there's something wrong with the young lady. I'm sorry. Emma is crazy and shallow. And she is the example, after watching her, of somebody who is single because of their own doing, their own choices. It's not just the men you pick or the men, baby. I think she is the problem. Because men are an interesting way. One thing I've learned just dating men, being married to a man, is they kind of, if you present yourself as the dumb ditzy girl, then they're going to accept that and then treat you the way they would treat the dumb ditzy girl. If you present yourself like a potential wife, someone with class that could be dated, they're usually going to come at you a little different. Like the way that you present yourself to men a lot of times results in what you get from them. And I'm not saying some niggas ain't shit, because some of them just ain't shit, y'all. But some men, like, I can see why Emma struggles. Now, we're introduced to her trying on wedding dresses. I'm like, why is this girl trying on wedding dresses? This ain't Love After Lockup, which we'll be covering in a few weeks. But I'm like, why is she trying on wedding dresses? What is going on? And her friend was like, okay, can we stop? Because I'm the one getting married. I said, I know you fucking lying. And I know there's some people that was small, but I think that's the worst thing that you could do to anybody is be at something related to like a life event, like those big events, like graduations, weddings, your first child. Sorry, second, third, and fourth. Woohoo, we blessed that they here, but we're not doing the big party and celebration we did for the first. Like, I don't understand why she would take a moment like that from her friend. And then I was like, oh, I see what production is doing. This bitch is shallow as hell and think that she's hot shit, and she's not at all. She has a twin sister that looked nothing like her. She said they're identical twins, and I was like, wait, y'all not identical twins. Who
I
had
don't think.
work
Yeah,
done?
I don't know if they're identical. They looked very
They
much
look
fraternal to me, and I was trying to picture her without the wig, just to see if maybe that's what it is. Because the twin sister didn't wear as heavy as makeup as the
I
as
feel
she
like the twin
did.
sister is what Emma is really supposed to look like.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because I'm like, there's no way. I was like, y'all don't look nothing. She looks more like the brother than she did the sister. Like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but that's how I feel. She looked more like the brother. Like, I would have thought her and the brother were twins, and then maybe,
It was interesting. I actually liked her twin a lot. Loved her twin. I love a good balance of twins. Twins run in my family and triplets, and none of them are the same. So I love a good balance. But she lives with her twin sister. She wears a terrible wig. She's an office manager at a med spa, and she admits that she is the type to fall in love quickly. So quick that she says she'll fall in love with you after one date or a shot of tequila. How do you expect anybody to take you seriously, young lady, when your way of falling in love is after a date, a conversation, or a shot of
a shot
tequila?
of
And
tequila.
two shots of tequila, he could take you home. This is why you're single, Emma. I know you're probably not going to come across a small YouTuber like myself who's just getting started, but if you do somehow, this is why you're single. You've got to stop. Because the thing of it is, she's a pretty girl. She doesn't need she needs to take off that fucking wig or pull it back. And I need for her to just be a little less shallow and maybe stay in LA, because when you go other places that require you to have more substance, you're not going to get far. Her sister doesn't want Emma to go to Morocco. Emma's dude is in Morocco. Her sister says that there's lots of red flags. Honestly, Emma dating a man from Morocco is a red flag as a
Right.
whole. Another TLC show I covered was Forbidden Love. I did it by myself. Thank y'all for the views too. I had some of the highest views ever on my channel on that show. But there was a couple on there. One of the gentlemen was from Morocco. There's also a Netflix show on a dog trainer from Oakland whose wife is from Morocco, and his family and all of that. It's very Muslim. It's super Islamic in that you're not doing PDA in public. Your women are going to be covered when they're out in public. It's if you're a tourist, you might be okay, but if you're from there, you pretty much obey your husband and follow those Islamic traits of marriage. So I'm like, why would someone like her, who seems to want to show off every part of her that she can, end up with a man from Morocco? It just didn't seem like something that would work. And we learned the guy's name is Siad. He's 27 as well, so they're the same age. He's from Marrakesh, Morocco. Moroccan men are also known not to be faithful. Sorry, not sorry. Pretty much any area in Africa. I'm just keeping a buck with y'all. But she says that she knew that Siad was the man for her when he said that she could be his future wife during their first conversation ever. And they've been locked in since. I said, Jesus Christ. She says she's not leaving Morocco till she's engaged. She's going to be going for a month. We learned from her sister that Emma went to Morocco last year, just 365 days earlier, which is no time whatsoever. And she went to see a man named Mohammed, which I do remember seeing on TV somewhere. And Mohammed and her did not work out. She has not told Ziad about Mohammed. There's some overlap between the dating and when they got together. It's always somebody that doesn't know a damn thing about marriage wanting to get married. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. And you don't have to know everything about marriage to get ready, but you have to at least have the common fucking sense that is necessary to be married. And I feel like a lot of people ignore their common sense just in the name of love. And this girl is the perfect example of that. Just because you want a happy ending, just because you want a marriage, anyone who truly wants a marriage understands the patience, the work, and again, the patience that goes into not just your marriage, but waiting to get married. This girl was just engaged last year. Now she's engaged again this year. And I can't even say that she's the type to like make a connection and really have like a bond. Like when we see her talk to this man on the phone on the beach, she's just like, do I look hot? How do I look? Are my boobs look good? You can't wait to marry me, can't you? Remember to propose on my birthday. And I'm just like, well, what is the excitement if you're dropping hints to get married? Like, I'm sorry, as a woman, I'm gonna speak for all heterosexual women. Don't y'all be asking for that ring. That's not for us to ask for. Don't look at Chrissy and Jim Jones. They still ain't married them niggas. Don't do it. It doesn't work. In a heterosexual relationship, the man is supposed to lead it. He absolutely should be the one asking for the ring. And anybody who feels differently, good luck. Ain't no way in hell I'm asking no man to marry me. He better ask me. So I'm looking at her and I'm like, and then you trying to mix up your birthday with your engagement? Why would you put two big events together? Why not spread it out? Spread the love. I don't understand this chick, James. I don't understand her. I don't understand it. I just don't. Now, before we get to meeting her dude, what were your thoughts on the fact that she's done this before? She's keeping secrets from her new dude. He don't know about the old one. Her sister and her brother are telling her, bitch, no, you're tripping. Why are you doing this again? Oh, and before you start, she lost her job.
I didn't know if you were gonna mention that or not. So I was like,
How can we? It's like I don't need, like, out of every couple that was introduced, she's the one where I'm like, okay, I gotta break this shit in segments because
here's my thing. I'm a stickler to believe that if something doesn't work once, 9 out of 10, you probably should not try it again. Meaning that if you dated a Moroccan man and had a horrible experience with that man, you don't go in the same country and get another one thinking that you're going to get the different experience, which we gonna see later on if my theory is true. But at the end of the day, I just feel like, one, she's not smart. She's a few chocolate chip short of a cookie. I've never seen someone act so ditzy on camera and act as if they have all of the fathom of the world. And then two, if you gonna get somebody of that stature, you better off going to Dubai and getting you somebody with some money versus you going to his country and you paying for every fucking thing. That's another red flag for you, sweetie.
The craziest part was that when her sister said, you gonna have to pay for everything too. I was like, this is, how do you want a fairy tale but ignore the parts of the fairy tale that are in every fairy tale, which is the man has a job, he can take care of you, he's the one paying, he's coming to sweep you off of your feet. But no, in her fairy tale, she doesn't care how she gets the ring. She's going to pay. She's going to do the work. She's the one traveling across the world.
And I'm not saying this, you guys, to be mean and say she should be some gold digger, but at the same time, she has no fucking job.
No,
as Mrs. Mitch
I'm
just
tell you
said.
this. I met my husband when I was 16 years old, and he had just turned 18. He was able to take me on a date, to movie, a dinner, with a gift, and some drink and dessert. And he continued that. And he was only 18. If kids in high school can do something, he could have done something too. Now, I do understand her going to Morocco just because the value of USD in terms of the travel and stuff, that part makes sense. But if someone travels across the world to come and see you, you better believe if I'm traveling across the globe to see a nigga, I'm not paying for shit when I get there. My gift was sitting on that 17 plus hour plane ride. You got me fucked up. I don't care if I look like Rasputia. Pull out your fucking pocketbook, your wallet, whatever the fuck it is. You're going to pay for my coffee. You're going to pay for my taxi. You're going to drive me around, and you better have appropriate accommodations, bitch.
I need to learn
across the world.
Also, I need to learn the economic fracture of a nurse in their country because she said it was
out here.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, I was like, man, she said he's a nurse. So do they not make
in
money?
America, the UK, pretty much in the Americas, nurses are paid okay, but even like we don't realize how good we have it here. I know that we have some stuff going on politically, but in terms of like pay, we all right. compared to other parts of the world. We are all
Right.
right. And maybe that's the moment. But the girl is crazy, Jane. She's crazy as hell.
She is
Um,
a nut job. Like I'm sorry, y'all. That does not represent California for me. I'm sorry. That is not the representation of
Unfortunately,
California.
for the clear people in California, it does. And
I
not just
said
in LA.
me being a black. Okay.
No, no, no. We don't claim that.
We don't
Okay.
claim that. That's why I said do not think that because you see she from Los Angeles. And there's a black person we gonna get to that also. I don't represent that. I'm sorry. I am from California, born and raised. I don't represent what he doing.
There's a lot of foolery, but TLC be on bullshit. TLC, WeTV, and OWN be on bullshit when it comes to casting people. They be casting people they know gonna make our teeth itch. I feel like they do that. Now, Emma discusses dating a Muslim man a little bit. She does mention that Siad is less conservative than most Muslim men. She said, but she made some points that I felt like she should have paid attention to, such as in Islamic countries, women wear the abaya, women put on hijab, and you do that because your body is not supposed to be seen by anybody outside of your husband or your children, really your household. It's supposed to be for your man. She's saying that he's open-minded, but he also like does things that shows he's not. So she'll send him some sexy pictures. He sends nothing back. I've never sent a sexy picture to a boy and not gotten something back in return.
Me either.
Okay, like men will be real quick to send you back their eggplant, and men really need to get better at that because it seemed to be getting a lot of them in trouble. But I digress. I'm just saying she should have seen like the fact that he never sends anything back and doesn't want to engage with that should show you he takes his religion seriously, and she's been to Morocco before, so she should understand that. She has a concern that he will have a little penis or that it will be uncircumcised. When you do things the traditional way, or when you do things the American way, lady who lives in Los Angeles, maybe if you pulled your wig back, you'd be able to see and know that with the American way, you can find out if that dick is circumcised or not. You absolutely can. You can taste it, try it, sit and spin. You can do whatever you need to do before so that you know if it's what you want to deal with for the rest of your life. Because I can personally say, as a married person, it would be devastating if it was a dick that scared you or you couldn't deal with for life. You want to make sure you like their parts. I think it matters personally.
It matters. It does. However, for me, I'm gonna say the more minimal, the better.
The more minimal, the better. At least I'm saying just to know in general what you're getting ahead of time. I would need to know. And I need to like
here's the thing. I don't need to know right away. Like here's the thing, not right away, because I feel like for me, I can deal with certain things that lack, and that being one of them. Unfortunately, I can deal with certain things that lack, mainly because sometimes men don't get it right the first
about
time.
what you're lacking or having. My point is just that before you get married, you should know what you getting into sexually.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, so I'm saying,
or if it lacks or any of that.
no, we're talking about like knowing what it looks like. Like that's what I'm saying about the lack. I'm not saying size or anything. I'm saying lack as far as like things that are not important to me. That's like I say, for me, I'm actually good with the minimal, like personality first. We'll get there later. I know I do it wrong, y'all, but
no, it's not wrong. Everybody does things in the way that works for them. That's why a lot of fucking people are alone, because they're so concerned with what's wrong or right to society when we're dating it should be what's right for you. But no one wants to hear someone.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all have to, it has to be, you have to say that's a very bonus part of life. But y'all, the things that she was talking about and then not displaying it at the same time, it was like, are you serious right now? Like she's joking.
It was just interesting. A lot with her made no sense. Things that made no sense. She's very concerned about looks to where she doesn't want her sister to have the rear view mirror in the car. I would pull that car over. I would have pulled that car over and been like, bitch, you can get the fuck out. Because I'm gonna tell y'all this about driving in California, especially LA. You need your
Yes.
mirrors. You might need an extra mirror the way people drive out here.
Okay, you need an extension on your extension, and then you need your rearview mirror to take up your whole like windshield. Like when I tell you, people go swoop, like you would not see them coming,
Half
and
of
you.
the traffic in California is not because it's that many people, it's because people just can't drive. Honestly, it's people not from California coming here and not understanding what the fuck to do. And then everyone wants to look at accidents and it slows us all down. Every time. Every time. I'm trying to tell y'all. She's very annoying though. So she gets to Morocco, Marrakesh. She's the only person we see who made it to the other country that they're going to see their spouse. And she gets off the plane and she did something else shallow. She went into the bathroom of an Islamic country and put on an even skimpier outfit. I thought she was going to like put on the abaya that she brought with her that her ex's mom made her. No, she put on the smallest dress she could find, looked like she was one of the girls dancing on the tables in Vegas, and walked out of that Moroccan airport into the Islamic country and across the street with a cajillion bags to her man. And she immediately starts talking about she had some concerns and red flags because the way that Siad was texting her on the plane was concerning her. And he was essentially texting her things that, for those who do not know, are laws. Kind of like in Dubai. If you're a gay man, don't show PDA. If you're a woman, do not be cursing and hollering. That's why Housewives of Dubai was canceled. Like, there are certain rules in Islamic countries and cultural perspectives that you acknowledge. Same way you would want someone to acknowledge them when they come here to America. So it's crazy that she ignored everything she knew about this place to show her ass out with the man. Now, she does hug her and embrace her, but she showed that she's problematic because he didn't want to discuss sex on camera, which is common of a Muslim man. I don't see the big damn deal. We're not watching you to watch your sex life. We're watching you to see how it is to date someone across the world. So she's trying to, my boobs. How's my boob? Girl, we don't care about them little B cups. Stop it. Stop it. Don't care about them little things. I'm like, I would have said the same thing too. He better than me. I would have been like, shut up, bitch. Like, what is going on? Didn't understand it. But she gets upset that he won't kiss her on the mouth in public and things like that, which they're not married. She's half naked. He don't want to be in trouble. He got to live there. She don't. So you could tell in her face, he was like, okay, I can give you a kiss on the cheek, which showed to me, I was like, okay, this young man tried to compromise with her. That's nice. I saw a look on her face that looked like she was petty and go start some shit, and she did. He gave her a kiss on the cheek and she denied him and turned away, which men do not do well with denial at all. Even when they do, they don't. Men just don't. I don't know what it is. I don't care if you gay, straight, or whatever. Men suck at denial and they never want to admit it. But he didn't do well with that. And she kind of smirked when he got upset and was like, I'll never kiss you again. I said, oh, he'll never kiss you again. Shit. Great start, y'all. 27, acting like y'all 21. But they didn't have a good start. I don't think their trip's going to go well. She's difficult. She says she feels like she was blindsided and like he's lying about everything because he was following the laws of his country. Emma, I don't like her, James. Do you have anything to add to Emma?
I just really feel like I'm surprised she didn't get arrested coming out the airport looking like that. Like, I'm just surprised she didn't get arrested like right away. I'm surprised someone didn't stop her and say, ma'am, you are inappropriate. Go put some clothes on, at least, the very least, because you saw everybody in their appropriate wear all over the place. And then here she come with this skimpy ass dress and all her titties showing. And I know he's like, damn, I'm about to get arrested. I'm worried about what's hooping to see. Like, I'm worried about breaking the law. Like,
women don't carry themselves like that in every country. They just don't.
They don't. And when you go to a conservative country, you have to be prepared for that. To me, she just, as I said, the elevator don't go all the way up to the top. It just doesn't, because you could not have thought that that was going to be okay. You could not have thought he was just going to slob you down in public when literally PDA is something that you do not do in a Muslim country. Like, girl, like uh, I can't, y'all. Like, I could, like, she really was driving me crazy. Like the entire time she was on, like every time she got to her scene, I rolled my eyes because I knew she was gonna do something that was just so stupid and just so just like giving us California just bad names. I tell you.
Hot mess. Hot mess. My husband came home. I didn't know anyone was here. I heard shit in my house. Turned the camera off. I was ready to fight like somebody in an anime. But he came in all quiet. I didn't hear the door. I didn't hear a light. I didn't hear the cat. I heard nothing. I was literally about to be fighting on YouTube. I thought I was going to be one of them true crime specials. But startled my heart. Emma, you're going to stress us out all season. I just want you to take off your wig. That's all I ask. We're going to move on to the next person, which is Laura. Laura is 47. We get into our OGs. I pray to God that none of my friends or myself is in this situation at 47. Amen. I really do. To be 47, looking for love across the world from an angry Turkish man is not the goal for life. It is not the goal. It's some sort of strange situationship with your best friend. Laura was the Hot Mess Express, but I actually kind of liked her. I don't know if you felt the same.
I thought she was a lot more level-headed than everybody else, so I will give her that. But to me, she was problematic as well.
She is. Laura is a 47-year-old fifth grade teacher in Vancouver, Washington. She's quirky. She likes to write erotic novels. And honestly, what she read was not bad. Go for it. Get published, girl. But she has a best friend named Michael, male best friend. And apparently everyone feels like they should date. And when I see the dynamic between the two, I'm like, I feel like they should date. But I always hate to have that opinion. I've had male best friends outside of James. They've all ended up liking me, not wanting to say something and all these crazy stuff. So I understand that male best friends, you can have some that work out, but a lot of times if they have the opportunity to date or hit, they will. So I'm kind of looking at Laura's situation that same way. She does everything with her friend Michael. Everything. They play sports, they travel, they raft, they lose weight together, they go to dinner with other couples together, not as a couple. They do everything together. Now, best friend or not, male or female, that's a lot of time to be spending with one person, especially in your 40s. If you want to date people, you probably will have better luck if you're not always with your friend who's of the opposite sex. Just an option. But she's dating a man in Turkey named Birkan. He's 26 years old. I said, wait a motherfucking minute. You found a 26-year-old in another country with great food, by the way, but you found a 26-year-old and you are 47. That's not fair because your ovaries getting ready to dry up and his little swimmers is ready to share probably. So I don't understand how the dynamic will work, especially in other cultures. Men pride themselves on having children, things like that. And I don't know how that will work with these two. They met on Snapchat. She says that he has a bad boy aesthetic, which I think is why she's single at 47. Yeah. He works in cafes, so he's some sort of a barista. I caught the shade that Michael and her friends threw. But her friend is explaining that he's explaining to us that when he met Laura, Laura was engaged to someone else. So he never looked at her as someone that could be more than a friend. I'm like, okay, but you obviously looked at her that way if you feel the need to mention when you met her she was engaged. Because if you were truly just a male friend, you wouldn't feel the need to explain anything to anybody. James, male friend of mine who's coming out late in life, honestly, very late compared to most people. So I've never felt the need to explain like my situation. I've had other male friends that have liked me in the past. Never felt the need to explain the situation. If someone's like your friend, you don't think to like explain stuff as anything deeper because how you view them is how you come off. So I feel like Laura and Michael are bullshitting us and know that they come off a certain way. I feel like there's also more that they're not telling us with their friendship because the energy was extremely weird. So I think that they've crossed the boundary and line of friendship multiple times
Yep.
and probably came right back over the line. But
Mm-hmm.
you got that vibe of like these two, something is
I
going on.
did. It was given like you've had you when the boundary, like I said, y'all have definitely, and I'm saying allegedly because I don't know these people. Y'all saying I feel like y'all have slept together,
Yep.
and I feel like that's why he's so emotionally drawn. And I think that there's a part of him that feels insecure, and he even said it in the episode, which I'm sure we'll get to. But like I feel that I saw that right away. I feel like he doesn't think he's good enough, and I think that that's the issue. And she's kind of one of those people, she's so sweet and pleasant on observation that she's never going to admit that. Because there's a part of her that wants to live on that dangerous side, and he gives me safe. He does not give me dangerous side. And I
I've
don't
noticed
understand
that
women like
too.
that.
When she
Yeah.
made the bad boy comment about Birkan, and I'm like, while so when I was younger, yeah, it's like, ooh, a bad boy's exciting. I get that girls go through that. But as you get older, I want somebody with some edge or some street smarts, but you don't got to be fully bad. It really matters how you treat me and if you're financially stable. That's really all I would
Well,
care
and then at
about.
47, you should be out of that phase altogether, and you should be like ready to be with someone who's going to rise to the occasion and give you what you need versus having that edge that's going to put you in a place. Because to me, if I didn't know any better, that erotica books you read is get into your head and you want Christian Grey.
Yep. Yep. I think
That's what it's given.
a
Yeah.
lot of people, especially of that generation, I think Gen Z doesn't get it. I would say millennials were the last generation that probably reads.
Mm-hmm.
Like them books and stuff used to kind of be how younger generations are impacted by reality TV today. Like they read a book and read of all this stuff, and the ending usually comes out pretty, and then they have these unrealistic ideas. Because I'm like, aside from the bad boy fantasy, her and Beer Con, there's a lot that she can't give him, and that he probably can't give her based on the age difference. And that's
Yep.
my only issue with when couples date with huge age gaps is there's you can't deny the inevitable and what's obvious, and different age ranges means that there's different things that some are better at, some have not developed in yet, and it doesn't always work. So someone's always going to come up short in a relationship. So I don't think that they work for that reason.
Yes.
But your condo like Michael, the bestie. And honestly, I'm not mad at the Turkish man because he has good reason. And I feel like he probably senses and understands some stuff. And she did explain, Laura did explain, like when she asked Birkan about that, his response was, a man knows a man. My husband said that about a best friend I had when we first met that me and James went to high school with, who apparently everyone knew had a thing for me and I had no clue. And I would tell my husband, I was like, what's your issue with him? He'd be like, I don't know how to explain it to you, Beiji, but like, I'm a nigga and I know niggas. That nigga like you. Never saw it, never viewed it that way. But he was right in the end. And I learned that years later. I feel like men really do know men. It don't matter if they gay man, straight man. Men know men. So I do.
It's all in the vibe. It really is. It's all in the vibe. Like men can tell because we're men and it all works pretty much the same. Like you know when a man likes someone else. Like you know when a man likes you when you're a man or likes somebody when you're a man because you do the same things they do. So game recognizes game. That's where that saying comes from. Game really does recognize game. And the tricky thing about being a man who dates men is that it does get confusing. I think that's the only time where it gets questionable is if it's same sex. But when it comes to heterosexuals, and yeah, we know right away.
It's
Yeah,
not difficult.
it's
It's
not
not
difficult at all.
difficult
It's like we
at
can see it
all.
clearly.
That's the thing. Laura, I feel like she's playing a dangerous game because she does make a comment that she has a concern that she's choosing the wrong man. She also lets us know that she had asked for Michael to come with her to Turkey to meet her new man, which at first I was like, okay, Laura, you might just want the bad boy and never grow out of bad phases. But now I feel like you know what you're doing and you're playing a dangerous game because you know that this man may like you. You obviously have some type of like for him and have admitted to crossing a boundary. He may just be a friend now, yes, but you also have active suspicions in recent times that Michael wants to be more than a friend with you. When you try to talk to Michael about this, you do it in a way that's almost like saying, if you tell me you want me right now, I won't go on this trip to see Burkhan, which Burkhan's not going to like when he sees that. And then to make it even worse, you know for a fact that you should not be committing to nobody, because when you talk to Michael about Burkhan not liking him and you being with him, all Michael can say is, oh, I'm concerned that it's going to take you away from me. And then the man broke down in tears when y'all tried to talk. I said, what the fuck? And like,
it's even worse than that. It's like you, and then you want to jeopardize this man's safety.
Yes.
That's a whole nother issue. See, I agree with all that, but I'm gonna take it a step further. This man told you
gonna fight. He said, I will fight. First time we saw him say that he will fight in the street. He don't care.
He don't care. So why would you take an innocent bystander that's supposed to be your friend? And see, Michael, if you watching, that ain't your friend. And that's why I said she's problematic, because she knows what she's doing. Too. Yeah, she knows what she's doing because
she's older than Burkhan. So you still the elder in the situation, mama. You wrong.
You were, yeah, she was. She was wrong. That's why I said she came off very pleasant, but she's very problematic. And I honestly, I feel like she is playing with Michael. I do feel like that too. I feel like she's playing with him in the extent where she's breadcrumbing him. And y'all know how I feel. If you guys know on Mrs. Best channel, I talk about that a lot. I have been breadcrumbed, and it is the worst feeling in the world because it's almost like an addiction. It is. It's almost like it is. You're trying to get that original feeling. That's why I feel like they cross Browns, because he's trying to get that original feeling back. And she keeps breadcrumbing him. Well, if you just tell me this, well, why do you feel this way? Well, if you told me this a long time ago, things may have been different. It's like she's breadcrumbing him into a thing.
He's doing the same thing back to her because he knows exactly what she wants to hear.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, he's not giving that to her. I need to know more about what happened with these people. But y'all, if you got a friend and you even have to think, like, does he like me? Does this and that? And you were thinking about it before you found this person, you should have just tried the person, because at 47, what you got to lose? But okay, Laura and Michael, I don't know. That's crazy. I call people out now. Like my male friends, if I even see you look at me crazy, or if I see your eyes wander or something, I'm asking you, what's that?
Like, can't be too sure these days. So you got to, you know.
Actually, when I came back from Phoenix back in 2017, there was a friend that wanted to get with me because I was having a hard time with the husband at the time. And I asked him flat out. He was like, yeah, I've always thought that since I met you. It's like, huh. Must have cut that man off so quick.
I don't understand why men do that. Like, it's like, why you can't be clear?
Like 7 years by then too.
Yeah, like why are you waiting for me to have my downfall to then sleep your way in? And then it's like, come on.
I'll never forget it, because my biggest issue was that my husband was working somewhere that he wasn't home a lot. So it's like, we need more time together. And then I also wanted him to take out the trash, and we lived on a hill and there was mountain lions and deer and shit. So I wasn't doing it, and he kept forgetting. So like, I would complain to this male friend about that. Like, if he would just take out the trash, I'd stop bitching. And he would make comments like, man, I swear on my mama, shawty, if I was with you, I'd take it out every day. You need to leave. I'm like, wait, I'm complaining because my man's not taking out the trash because he's tired from working too much to pay rent for me and to provide for me. And you telling me I need to leave him because of that? I said, oh, no. So you do have to be careful with some of your friends. But I don't know. She said when she met him, she was engaged. So I think something happened while she was engaged with Michael, and she don't want that to come out. But I'm going to digress and move on to the next couple, because she's shady. The last people that we are going to discuss is Rick, 52-year-old man selling bundles and weave from LA. Can I get a discount if I say good things, Rick? I come down to 5 so fast.
Why you have to say it like that?
Good. I said, oh, we got Emma, who's 27 and living the LA dream that most people move to California thinking they go get. And then we have Rick living the what's really like living in California. Okay.
But I tell you, hustler, listen, I was not mad at that. But I tell you, hustler got to hustle it. Like I'm not mad because he right. Tax return season, that's when he get his most customers, and he is absolutely correct. The way California focuses on ego and looks, absolutely, he is absolutely correct.
Let me tell y'all, when I was in sales, if you sell cars, hair, insurance, or are a travel agent, you making probably your year's salary between January and April.
Yep.
I'm trying to tell you, because California really is that shady. I'm weird. Like, I'll go without makeup, come on YouTube, bare face, no makeup, and all of that, because my money goes towards travels. When I travel, I want to travel in luxury, because I'm a little bougie, according to my husband. And I don't care. I'm a social worker. I don't need to look good to do what I do. So I'm a wait and save my coins and tax returns, and I travel. Other people in California, that's when the plastic surgeons, the med spas out here, child.
Yes, they be making money.
But I'm not mad at Rick. He says that he sells the bundles. Most of his business is around taxes. He says the reason he's in this business is because he was married to a woman. His ex-wife was a hairstylist. In LA, you making guap as a hairstylist, trust and believe.
Yep.
Everybody comes out here, I want to be an actor. I want to get in the entertainment industry. No, if you come out here and you have a degree in hair, nails, stuff like that, you'll do great.
Yep.
Because you'll
either that,
people who haven't made it yet, who want to look like they've already made it.
Or either that, or if you have a California bartender's license, you're going to be making money. You're going to be making a lot of money in California. My cousin is a bartender, and he now can reduce down to 2 jobs now.
Oh yeah, bartending is a really, really out here. It's a really good job, especially oddly in the valley, because there's nothing to do but the bars. So they make it better. We had a friend who was a bartender, a mutual friend, but she can't do it in California no more because she got in trouble serving liquor to underage people while drunk on the clock. Yeah, got the bar right up and everything. There was a couple times I had to man the bar for her because she was too drunk to do it. That's how I learned to make a lot of drinks.
Yeah, maybe the business video opened up is not just playing.
I learned how to make like every drink they was helping. I said, well, she's too drunk. She in the bathroom throwing up. I guess I'll help my friend. I don't want her fired. And she kept getting, you know how she was. She couldn't keep a job. So I said, it's either this or she went back to Braswell to climb the pole. We didn't want that. So see, I'm a good friend, y'all. Oh Lord. Anywho, so he's telling us about his seasonal business. He also teaches tap dancing, another common thing in California. I grew up dancing with Oakland Ballet, Alvin Ailey, all these different things. I think a lot of kids in California, our sports, our extracurriculars become things that can make us money, which is another kind of beautiful thing. But he teaches tap dance. He has 5 kids. 3 of them are grown. 2 of them are younger and from a recent marriage. I don't know how many marriages he's had. Is this recent marriage the ex-wife who was a hairstylist? And you talk about you ordered the best quality hair, Rick, but that hair looked a little worn. I'm not gonna lie.
Not only that, why do you have baby children?
At 52.
At 52.
52-year-old man. But honestly, for LA, that's kind of the norm. It's a lot of older men.
I'm learning that.
And now with the climate, it's a lot of older men starting over after divorces that are like truly starting over. He's 52 and has a 4-year-old. He's going to be almost 70 when when the babies get to high school. That is.
Yeah, like he didn't think that through at all. She must have been something. Because Lord Jesus, like
she's obviously younger. Because based on
I don't
think
she's
going to Cedar Sinai for the top medical care to make that happen.
Right. No, he definitely I see his pattern. He doesn't want I had a cousin I have a cousin. Hey, he's still living with us. I have a cousin who purposely gets younger women. He's 55. He purposely gets younger women because he says he don't want to deal with like women talking about they need her, they back her, they stuff. And I'm just like, that's what he says. It's
Honestly,
ignorant as shit. It's ignorant. I said, why?
my closest cousin, I love him to death, but he is older than me. He was more so raised like as my older brother, but he is older than me. He is now, I believe, 53, and he likes to date women my age. I'm 33 and younger. Mind you, his daughter is 30. So why are you dating women me and my baby cousin's age? And he says he's not interested in being locked down ever again. He don't want marriage, and all the women his age want commitment and marriage because they know what they want. And so he says instead of leading them on, he just fucks on the young hoes. I said, "Oh Lord,
And they don't want that either.
you'd be
Because
surprised. You'd be
really,
surprised.
because I would think that
You
the
would be
older
surprised.
ones would be more of a, yeah, I don't want to be locked down, live in sin too. So
The
it's the
younger
younger
ones,
one.
if you can give them a dinner or a nice time, and he got money, he's a barber and a bartender out here in the Bay Area.
Oh,
They
so
don't care.
so basically the young ones is phaedering him. That's what they doing. $4,000 a month. Now you
Yep.
got your ten. Now you got your ten
And
thousand
he's
dollars
okay
cash
with
and
it.
2,000 left over to buy you a pair of
He's
shoes.
okay with
Got
it. And then he'd be in the street too, so he still got that little bad boy image. I'd be talking shit. I'd be
it
like,
makes
listen,
sense.
you
Okay,
53 years old and you still running the streets of DP Stokeland, you need to figure out your life. And he said to me, I'll never forget, the women in our family been more successful. Mind you, I'm the firstborn woman on that side of the family. Like, God help
that
us.
is right.
Anywho, um, Rick is interesting. He has a situation. So the woman he's dating is a woman named Trisha. She's beautiful. She's from Madagascar. Do better, Black people, Black Americans, as my African family would call y'all. Madagascar is an island nation off the coast of Africa and is considered to be part of it. Um, Black people, lots of things. The movie is actually based on a place. The animals that were in the movie are actually on the island. But Rick also could not tell us the capital city of where his girlfriend lived. And I was wondering why Trish is, I believe it said 25. I was
27.
like, no, she's 25. 27 was the couple before.
Oh,
That was
okay.
Trish is 25 and he's 52. And that is crazy. She is younger than his oldest child, which we saw later on in the episode, who is 30. So I don't understand what he's doing, but it seems like Trish had an attitude and mentioned she loves seeing Rick with his kids. It makes her want to have kids. And at 25, yes, she should be getting to a point where she wants to find a husband, career, and kids. And he kind of avoided it and didn't want to talk about it much because he's 52, he's got 5 kids, and he just started over. So it makes sense that he doesn't want to have kids. But if you know that, then why are you dating somebody who is younger than your kids? If you know that you're done, why are you dating someone that's just getting started? At 25, you're just getting started. So
I didn't get that either because it's like, so did you think she wouldn't want kids? Like,
are we supposed to
what's
feel
going
sorry
on here?
for
Yeah,
her?
what's going on here? Because we're all confused now. Like, you thought she wasn't going to want kids when she's damn near at the age where she should be having them right now?
I feel like he'd be sending her bundles, overnighting them or something across the world whenever she gets a little irritated. Like, don't worry about these kids, baby. Put this bust down in your hair. I feel like that's what he's doing because I don't understand why she would even want to date him. Like, looking at it from her perspective, you're 25 and you're young. You either looking to get a come up or a ticket to America, or you got some serious issues yourself. Because you're 25, what the fuck you want with a 52-year-old?
I think it's both. I think there's daddy issues, obviously. There
Yes.
is, definitely a free meal ticket, obviously. And then the only thing I can honestly think of is that maybe she does want the married life and everything, but you don't get that with someone who's already had that life and repeating it again.
By the
Like you
time
don't
he retire, he'll be in the ground. Now you're
right.
retiring alone. Like,
Like you don't like I said there's nothing more ignorant and ghetto than someone who has grandchildren older than their kids. There's nothing more ghetto than that. I'm sorry. It just, I have to be honest with y'all. When I see situations like that, when you have grandchildren older than your children, there is something wrong here.
I
And I know
agree.
plenty of them. I know plenty of those people. And I talk about them like, and I, you know what I say? I be saying dinosaurs be having babies now.
It don't make sense.
It don't.
However, the story gets worse. Gets worse. He has a barbecue with his family, and people made so many hot links. I wanted one.
I want, girl, you read my mind because I was like, oh, I wanted one so bad. I was ready with my slice of wheat bread. Was like, here you go.
Right. Just a little
Where
bit of
the-
mayonnaise. Let's get it right.
Yeah, I do a
Barbecue.
little barbecue sauce.
Yeah, you're supposed to do mayonnaise and barbecue. The man will take some.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that next time because I was like, wait, I don't do the mayonnaise. But I definitely do the barbecue
Yes,
sauce,
I
especially when
layer
you
the
got a sweet
bread with
smoky
some
one.
mayo, and then I put
Oh,
some barbecue on it with a little bit of mustard. Oh,
I love me a hot link. When I tell
wow.
y'all, I miss being in California to get a hot link. You
You
ain't
don't got
never
hot
had.
links where you at?
We
Where
do,
you
but they
live?
not
What
like.
kind of
But they
grocery
not.
store?
No, Arizona get no. Cut it out because I keep
Go,
telling you,
go to the
Arizona,
store.
Arizona do not have that same shit. I'm telling you, they do not.
I done seen black people on TV in Phoenix eating hot links. Go
They
to the
don't.
damn
They
store.
don't ship them. They get them shipped out from somewhere and have them imported here. They do not have those here. I promise you. Not the ones we have. I'm talking about back home. Like when I'm saying like getting like the real hot links. Yes, I want one of those. Not Farmer John's. Not any of that bullshit that we. I want a real life hot link.
I can't stand you. Lord help us. That's what they eat over here too. Y'all just ain't making it right. Oh, but he has a barbecue. He exposes to his family and everybody that Trish ghosted him, and because of it, he don't trust her. There was a period where she didn't. First, he said he did not hear from her at all for 5 days. Then he said that he did hear from her within the 5 days, but she was giving him short responses and explained that she had a family crisis because her brother or someone crashed her car. She had to talk to police and, keep herself out of trouble. Sounds shady, but in another country, I can't understand something like that happening. Now, during the time that she was not talking to him, he made it seem like he has a secret that of something that he did during the time that they weren't speaking, which was probably him sleeping with somebody, and is haunting him, and he has not told her. How dare you question this woman when you are a red flag who can't keep it in your pants at your big age? When you got a secret to tell her herself, at least she gave you a reason and you haven't been fully honest. It's always a motherfucker that got a reason to not be trusted that makes it seem like they can't trust you.
Yep,
He
always.
is a man. I think he is 52 going on 22. I truly believe that about Rick because what do you think the secret is?
Mm, you know what? Honestly, I thought it was two things because I definitely thought it was. Okay, what show did we recap where it was revealed that both of the couples had a baby on the way, or one that had a baby and then they both had a baby, but they were together? It was a show we recap on your channel. They meet online.
Oh, never ever met.
Yes, okay, that couple that both had babies like when they were like mad at each other or broken up or something, and then they came back together and she revealed her baby, and then he later revealed that he had a baby. I think this man has another baby.
I wouldn't be surprised. I kind of thought about that too, just because he was very nonchalant with the kid situation for his age. You can't do that. No one's going to accept that. So I'm curious to see what it will be, y'all. That was really all that we got. We got introduced to, I believe it was 4 couples for this first episode. We're going to get some more couples. 90 Day Fiance will be having a bunch of couples because they know half of the motherfuckers ain't going to work. But I think it'd be fun to cover. We will be covering this show through the end of the season. If it does well with views, we'll continue to cover it. The next time I'll be live on my channel will not be until Wednesday, and that'll be to go over Love and Hip Hop Miami. Does that air on Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
What's today? Monday? I didn't go to work
Monday.
today, y'all. I didn't feel like it. Okay. So I'll be back on YouTube on my channel on Wednesday to go over Love and Hip Hop Miami, and then I'll be back again on Friday to go over the Housewives of Beverly Hills. It is winter time, so myself and James are getting shows back. James will be returning to work eventually sometime soon. I don't want to give away all of his business, so the times of our lives will likely change. I do work 8 to 4. James works nights. So we are going to be figuring out how we're going to do this, because I'm also a full-time student and somebody's wife. So there's a lot of things I'm going to have to keep up with. But our schedules will change, but we'll still be on YouTube. And then we'll be on James's channel as well on Wednesday for Salt Lake City.
Yes. Yes. We are doing Salt Lake City Wednesday. And then, so you guys, like she said, we're going to try to work this out. I don't know what I'm going into when I go back to work next week. So we'll see. So we'll keep you guys posted on both our channels when that day does come. So I'll let you guys know. Hopefully I win the lottery tonight. That way I can go to California and get on Mrs. Best's nerves. Because that's the only way I'm going. Listen, you better pray real hard, because the only way I'm coming out there is if I win the power. I don't even got to win the big prize. I can win one of the matching prizes and get the $1 million, and I'll come out there. It's been a year with you, and then we'll go out to Bethesda.
California it costs more to live out here, but if you have work experience, you can find something to pay you enough. But I also feel like anywhere expensive. If you have work experience, you can find a job to pay you. It's the initial move that's the hardest part.
It is the hardest part.
Hardest part.
And then to adjust to the higher rent, I think it's realistically an adjustment. And then there's certain things that y'all have to pay for that I have to get reacclimated to again. So a lot of things.
It's not much. It's mostly DMV stuff. They take it out.
Yes.
But
yes,
we will head over to James's channel now. We're going to go over the Housewives of Potomac as well as Married to Medicine. If you're interested in following us on social media, I did include it in the graphic because you guys have been asking a lot. That's both of our social media on Instagram. Love and light to everybody. We will see you next time. I hope that you like the video and comment your opinions, and I appreciate you. Peace out.